You know, if you're an agent out there working in the final expense area, you know, we've got a great team at Gordon Marketing that can assist you in better understanding the market and how to grow your sales. Hi, I'm Randy Pierson. I'm the Vice President of Life and Annuities at Gordon Marketing, and today I've got Jim Paris with me, our expert in the office on all things final expense, and we're going to tell you how to be a better final expense salesperson. Stay tuned. All right, Jim, you know, when we're talking about final expense and we're discussing with agent sales techniques and tools, etc., what's the number one thing that you try to educate them on or bring to the table to help them be better in that final expense sales space?
Yeah, Randy, I like to tell agents, be a problem solver. Bring value to your client. They're inundated with the Joe Namath on TV and all the other ads they're seeing, all the other mailers that they're getting. When you are fortunate enough to get in front of a client, be a problem solver. Don't go for the high pressure, quick one-off sales. A lot of agents, they just look at it as a number game. They want to get in and out and over their next presentation. To me, being a problem solver just gives you more value. It's going to lead to better things for you down the road.
Yeah, you know, I love that. You know, being a problem solver for a financial services client, a final expense prospect, or for example, in the medical profession, a doctor, you know, when you want to solve those problems, what's the first thing you have to do?
You have to diagnose the situation. You have to see exactly what the client needs in order to solve their problem.
Absolutely. By obtaining information, right? Asking questions.
Correct.
So if an agent struggles perhaps with gathering pertinent facts, right? I mean, how can we assist them in putting ammunition in their hands to do a better job at that?
Well, reach out to me. First of all, I've put together a fantastic fact finder. We'll get you a lot of information that you probably never even thought would be pertinent, commensurate the sale with the client. Once you build that relationship and you get all that relationship, you know they trust you. They're not so much as buying life insurance, they're buying you, the agent.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Now, speaking of that, by the way, I mean, the consumer is buying the agent, but there's a myriad of product out there that the agent can put in front of the client. How can we help that agent navigate all of those various products and carriers that are out there?
Sure, Randy. Rolling back to the fact finder, you're going to come across a lot of individuals, consumers, that have pre-existing conditions, taking various amounts of prescription drugs, etc. Work with agents every day, kind of wading through that swamp and setting them up with the best carriers, the most liberal underwriting, so they could stay relevant, stay competitive in that field. Also look for carriers that with a little bit more stricter underwriting standards, but they will be the most competitively priced as well.
Yeah.
So we need to have a few arrows, in your quiver in order to maintain that business and bring that value to your clients.
Yeah. I think what I hear you saying is, you know, certainly, you know, in insurance sales, a lot of times it seems like it boils down to price, but there's a lot more to it, right? Making sure that you diagnose the right product and carrier for the client and the carrier and product that can best help the consumer obtain it given their particular circumstances.
Exactly.
Right? So let's chat for just a second about what are some of the pitfalls that an agent might come across if they're doing business in the final expense area?
Well, the number one is going to be the old dreaded chargeback. Agents like to get advanced on their commission. I like to always preach, just get paid as earned. You will never get burned. It's pretty simple as that. If for whatever reason that client walks away from that policy, if you're going as earned, nothing's been advanced to you, so there's going to be nothing that you're going to need to pay back to that client as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And to improve the opportunity for those policies, final expense policies that you sell, I would also encourage them to cross-sell, right? I mean, if you're watching this video, I assume you're familiar with Gordon Marketing. You probably are aware that we're one of the largest marketing organizations in the country in the Medicare space. What a fantastic tandem sale to sell that Medicare policy as well as final expense policy. And when you have 2 contracts or more in the home, much more likely those policies are going to stay on the books. So listen, we're running out of time on this episode of Selling Life and Annuities, but I want to encourage agents out there, especially if you're working in the senior market, especially if you're in the Medicare sales side of the business, but not doing final expense, you need to give us a call. We've got Jim, as well as an additional plethora of value-add services that we can bring to the table that can help you become exceedingly successful and, most importantly, much more profitable in your insurance practice by getting into that final expense space. But unfortunately, Jim, for now, we got to call this episode of Selling Life and Annuities to an end. Please do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video, click subscribe at the bottom as well as the notification bell so that every time we roll out with some new content, you be certain to see it. But for now, from Jim Paris and myself, we'd like to say, happy selling.